welcome to another episode of the NeverFap Deluxe Daily. My name is Julius Reed, and here is the theme tune. That's right, baby. That's how we do it. We get the theme tune, of course. Maybe you just finished wanking or something, or watching porn. You're like, oh, I need to finish the high with the read. Well, you've come to the right place. Today on the show, we're talking about the topic. The topic is, does prayer count as meditation? But before the topic, we like to delve into, more of an impersonal kind of like, the read one-on-one, obviously not mounting you, but, talking to you, that kind of thing with the checkup. The checkup, yes. It's confusing the shows there for a moment. Would have been awkward. I do another podcast called The Writers Daily, and it's kind of a similar format. May even be the same theme tune, but we don't tell people that, do we? No, because they've got different logos and stuff. The checkup, Julius Reed checks up on you. How are you doing? How are you coping with life? Are you you thinking like, oh damn, oh son. That made no sense. Are you stressed out? Are you not stressed out? Maybe you're actually doing really well. Maybe you aced that exam. Maybe your boss isn't backhanding you for, forgetting to clean something. Maybe you got your report done in time. All good things, that help, contribute towards that mental balance. Of course, sometimes circumstances aren't okay. Maybe you were in that bombing in Beirut, or whatever it was. Lebanon, I think. Yeah, that's right. Yes, obviously delving into the atrocities of that is human life. So hopefully you're doing okay. But these are the things that you should be doing that will help you get okay. Meditation. Are you meditating daily? Did you meditate today? Meditation, of course, is what's going to drive you into the future. Kind of like a car going at 100 miles per hour, getting to its destination. Probably not safely, but getting there. Exercise, also very important. Exercise is what carries us forward. Physically, doing arm pumps and stuff. I don't know what they're called. But yeah, exercise, very important as well. Did you remain calm today? Did you remain aware? These are questions that you should be thinking about mentally in your mind in order to, assist with the decision-making process. It's like, did I do these things? And then you can cross them off if you have a routine list or something like that. And after a while, when it becomes complete routine, you just know what to expect. So, for example, maybe you work out at lunchtime and it's kind of like, okay, it's 12. Now it's time to, start lifting some weights or whatever it is that you do. And, of course, an important thing that you can ask yourself as well is what you're going to do differently, if you need to do anything differently. Of course, it's about you examining your life and examining how you do things. And, if you think there's, areas to tweak, then be my guest. Tweak with a gun! Die! Because that was the fear and possibly the loathing of being shot at. So that was, I don't know what that was. That was the checkup. The checkup! Which brings us to the topic! That's right, topic header there. Helping us identify where we are in the show. Maybe you're like, oh, am I in the viewer mail?
The viewer mail.
No, you're not, although you are in
the topic.
Today's topic is, does prayer count as meditation? Maybe you'll learn some things, maybe you won't, but let's dive a bit deeper into this idea of prayer as a form of meditation, and how it works, how you can identify whether it's, a form of meditation for you. Often when I ask people whether they meditate, a common response I get is that they don't meditate, but that they pray instead, and that's what they consider meditation. So, it's like, I pray, 5 times a day or whatever it is, and then they consider that meditation. And I think at first I was very much against, this idea of prayer as being equivalent to meditation. I guess it's, I don't know if this is a correct analogy, but it's kind of like saying, Christianity is the same as Islam because they believe in the same God. But I don't think, those religions believing in the same God accurately reflects what those religions are about. And I think it's the same thing with practice. It's kind of like, exercise. There's many different ways to exercise and they achieve different things. And that whole achieving different things is really important. So, for example, cardio is very different to, strength training. both technically exercise, but both achieve very different things. So that's something, to think about and to consider, whether you think prayer or, if you pray, whether that's a form of meditation, at least the kind of meditation and the outcomes that, I'm promoting when it comes to NeverFap Deluxe, which is kind of awareness, calmness, as well as clarity, to have clarity over your mind, in fact, to not have thoughts and to be mindful, that kind of thing. I want to say off the bat that I don't think that, prayer and meditation are the same thing, given that, again, it's like, cardio and weightlifting, very different things. Obviously, they have different focuses. I think prayer is focusing on God, while, meditation is very much about focusing on being present with yourself. There are similarities, but I think they're sort of the core differences. But it's interesting, though, because we had a person in the NeverFap Deluxe Discord server, and he said something very interesting. He said that prayer is like giving to God, or meditation is like receiving from God. Maybe that makes sense to you. I'm not religious and I don't pray, so it doesn't really resonate with me, but apparently it resonated with a lot of people. So, prayer is like giving to God, while meditation is like receiving from God. Or maybe it's the other way around. I have no idea. But yeah, hopefully that helps. What I will say, though, is that prayer can be a form of meditation in the sense of the principles of NeverFap Deluxe. So, for example, if you believe that prayer helps you develop your general awareness and self-awareness, then yeah, it can be a form of meditation. Because that's basically what meditation is. It's about achieving clarity, and you do that through awareness. Of course, if you pray and you're not aware, for example, if you're praying and you're just fully thinking about God, then I wouldn't say that it's a form of meditation. I wouldn't say it's equivalent to meditation. Because, meditation is very much about mental health. God is sort of more about, a spiritual, that kind of thing, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. I guess there's, the point I'd like to make is that, there's a lot to learn from both techniques. I think it's also beneficial to treat meditation as if it were its own practice, which very much is. You can truly understand the intention and the perspective of awareness. What I would say to people who, are religious and they pray, which is, that's fine. But what I would say is to maybe try meditation, and that if there is a lot of overlap, whereas you kind of go, well, I'm kind of getting this from prayer anyway, then it's probably fine not to meditate and just to pray. But it's good to sort of, to experience what I'm intending with meditation. And then from there you can go, okay, so this is what he meant. Can I relate that to my religious practice? So hopefully that helps. That helps. Yes. Yes. Oh, someone's calling. It's the FBI. It's the FBI. FBI, open up. That's the FBI coming down to the Reed's house. Going to kick some heads in. Because we keep pedophiles in the dungeon, and we gotta make sure that they're okay. If you know what I mean. That made no sense, but that's okay, because that brings us to the end of the topic, which brings us to the beginning of the viewer mail.
The viewer mail.
The viewer mail. Yes. Today's viewer mail comes from Elizabeth Cooper. Hello, it's a lady. Get excited. From Hartford, United States. Hartford, I've never heard of this place. I'm sure there's millions of people live there, but I don't know. I've never been there. Does this place even exist? Conspiracy. Elizabeth says, "Hi, Mr. Reed. Thank you for reading my email. Last night, I got very drunk and I accidentally tattooed a picture of my girlfriend's vagina on my face. She'll know it's hers because of how big, wide, and hairy it is. I'm freaking out and not quite sure what to do. Please help me, Dr. Reed. Help me!" Well, thank you, Elizabeth. I guess that makes you a lesbian if, you have a girlfriend. I don't know if this joke was written for a woman, but we'll go with it anyway. Firstly, I'd just really like to clarify that I'm not a doctor. Not a doctor. Don't get me wrong, I do perform miracles, but I definitely cannot help you with any kind of medical device. But I try my best. That's what it's about. It's me trying to fix you with this heinous tattoo on your face, apparently. I myself, though, also have a tattoo of my girlfriend's vagina on my face, so I can relate to this situation quite vividly. I got it tattooed probably the same hour, minute that you did. I'm dedicated to my listeners, as is the case in any healthy relationship. Denial's your friend. That's what it's about. Denial. Yes. No, this isn't a joke. That's right. It's get the kids on, because if kids are onto it, then it's like it's a real thing. Yeah, so denial's your friend. Just straight up deny that you even have a tattoo of a vagina on your face. Try and make it sound as if she's in the wrong. Maybe she's crazy. It's like, oh, have you taken your medication, sweetie? And maybe this is in fact an opportunity to convince her that she has a nice tight vagina, because it's like, well, this lumpy vagina on my face, well, it couldn't be yours because you have a nice slithery, I don't know how you describe it. I mean, what's the word that girls want to hear? Like tight, narrow, it's probably another good word. Teaching kids English on the show. Of course, that's how I do it. Worst case scenario, just deny that you're even in a relationship with her. That unfortunately didn't work for me. But perhaps you'll have better chance, with your relationship. And hopefully she won't take half the house as well. That kind of sucked. But, it's okay. I live on the streets. The streets are fine. Once you get over the stabbings, the rapings, it's a great place to be. Of course, the ideal situation is that she would simply get a picture of your dick on her face. And that way, when you're making out, it's kind of like you're having sex. It's like dick on face, that kind of thing. Of course, very intricate solution there. Except, of course, your penis would be so small that no one would be able to see it. Ayo! Of course, I clarified that you are a woman at the beginning of this, so that would have made no sense. Unless if you're one of those trans women, what's the deal with that? Well, there you go. That was, I guess that's the end of the show, baby. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Reddit. You can check us out on Castbox. Send us an email, neverfapdeluxe@gmail.com. If you'd like to send in a viewer mail, check out the website, neverfapdeluxe.com. Stay safe. Stay safe.